Bang, 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 bang. Right, they're the things I'm going to talk about, but I don't need to talk about them now because I'm going to talk about them in a minute. So the first one is an AdWords account. You need an AdWords account. Go to adwords.google.com. It'll take you 5 to 10 minutes to register. You'll have to leave your bank details and it'll take a few days to get the actual code from the bank. But other than that, you are rolling with AdWords. And you can do anything that I'm talking about now in 15 minutes. When you get home, you can do it. You need an ad. So you need an ad that's going to attract people to your site. And that should be, and this is very important, headline. And a headline doesn't want to be, would you like to come and see my sweets? It should be, sweets now, buy sweets now, spend money in my shop now. It should be very much an action and a command. So many headlines are just so boring. The more interesting, the more call to action-esque, if I can put it that way, a headline is, the better it'll be. So obviously fast cash in property is better than, you might make a bit of money in property if you stick at it for 5 years, for example. And then you want the first line, from what I've studied from the best in the world, the first line is a benefit. So using other people's money and time is quite a benefit. And the second line is a call to action. Download 147 book and e-course free. So there you can clearly see headline, benefit, call to action. Very, very important. Okay, you need carefully selected keywords. We've already established that property is not going to make you money in the property industry. But make cash from property, make cash from pro-equity. Let me tell you something about that pro-equity. Spelling mistakes generate traffic. Spelling mistakes are far cheaper than correct spellings. So you should all be putting all of the spelling mistakes as well as the correct spellings for your words in. Very important. Now, there are different strategies, and I better just tell you this because it is important. You can use broad match, so you can type in property with nothing around it, and people searching for everything property related, just like Andrew said, will click on your ads, and that will burn a shed load of money very quickly. If you put a pair of quotation marks either side of the keyword when you put it in, that's called a phrase match. So if you put property for the under 35s, only that keyword and other words within that sentence, so property for the under 35s who like pink shirts, will come up on your search. Therefore, more targeted traffic, less expensive, burn less money. Make sense? You can focus even further and you can have exact match, which is the strategy I like. I like using broad match to find the keywords and then exact match from then on. And exact match is when you put a square bracket either side of the word that you're typing in, and if you do that, only that name that you put in exactly as you put it in, including spelling mistakes, will come up on your search. That's probably the fourth fundamental error that people make. And these 3 and 4 will save you hundreds of thousands of pounds on AdWords. The fourth one is that people use broad matches when they should use exact matches. Yeah? Okay, move on. You need a landing page or a destination URL. What I've given you here is one of the very best converting landing pages in history, period. You can get it from doubleyourdating.com. In the days when I was single, I used to study this avidly. Used to try and hypnotise girls into my bedroom. Didn't really work, that's why I got into property. That is so simple, look at it. A red headline in quotation marks with a huge benefit. I mean, what guy is not going to want to know the secrets that most men will never know about women? It's 5 or 6 bullet points of benefit-driven bullet points and a simple capture box. And that converts at just about more than any other landing page you'll ever find on the web. Interesting, isn't it? So simple. Another good one, a very good friend of mine, found him through bidding on his name on Google AdWords, Daniel Wagner, doing very well at the moment, has a great product, he's a great guy. This is his best performing landing page. And this is a simple headline, but it's quite a good one when you think how to make a ton of money from a market you know nothing about with a product you don't have. Pretty benefit driven, wouldn't you say? Pretty inspiring. He sold a dog ebook. He made 70 grand selling a dog ebook. He hates dogs and he knows nothing about dogs. And if you're thinking right now, yeah, this is all great, but I can't do this, let me tell you a story about Daniel Wagner. He set up that exact landing page, but not for his internet marketing business, for his dog ebook. He asked everyone, what's your biggest problem about your dog? He got all the data, Then he went to someone and said, I've got all these problems that people have about dogs. Write me an ebook answering all those questions. Someone wrote him an ebook. He came back and he sold all the ebooks to the people that had asked him the questions. Yeah? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And again, that brings up probably the fifth fundamental mistake that most people make. They create a product, then try and find a market. Find a market, then create the product. I got lucky. I found property and used AdWords and it worked, but it might not have. Okay. You need an offer, an incentive, a giveaway, an ethical bribe, whatever you want to call it, wherever you read it. So this is off our website, actually. The reason that the capture box is orange is because it draws people's attention. And we offer an ebook worth 147 quid. Now, you could argue whether it is or it isn't. I know it is, because if someone reads that, they could make more than 147 quid. They could make 15,000 quid in one deal. And we also give them an auto-responded e-course that goes out every 3 or 4 days. Anyone who's on my database, a few of you are here, you'll know that we're reasonably proactive in our emails. It upsets a couple of people and they can click the unsubscribe button, but of course it offers value to most people. So you need, the better your offer, the bigger incentive that it is for people, the more people you will get to either buy or to build your database with, get their details. A thank you page. Now, Daniel Wagner didn't have one. Once people had left their details, he just sent them on their way. I personally think a thank you page is essential. Does anyone want to tell me why a thank you page is essential?
Second chance to upsell.
Second chance to upsell. Bingo, Ashley. Every single thank you page, in my opinion, should upsell another product. Because if they've already bought from you once, are they not now more likely to buy again? Well, they are. Like, if someone's bought from you once, they're probably 10 to 100% or 100% to 10,000% more likely to buy from you if they haven't than if they hadn't. When do you want to catch them? You want to catch them when their credit card's out and on the table, not when they can't find their wallet. Yeah? So, that's the most important thing. But also, you have to acknowledge people. They've left their details. So you have to say, look, thanks for leaving your details. I won't share your details with anyone, and this is what we're doing with your details. And I think that that's important. But it's not essential. You could just have an ad, a keyword, a landing page, and you could be started on this. So, you also need some kind of database management. Now, I have a product which has database and back end in a box, so it saves all the crap that I personally didn't like about databases and all these kind of things, thank you pages, landing pages, HTML coding and all this stuff that wasn't really, it was all alien to me. But, if you have a database management, think that it's easy to use. If you've got multiple products, you might want to use one shopping cart because you might want to integrate your lists, different lists for different buyers, all those kind of things. I use iContact, very good but quite simple database management. As we get more products, I'll probably have to go over to one shopping cart. But of course, you need somewhere for the opt-ins to go. When you've captured a name and an email, you need somewhere for them to go, and you need to be able to organise them. Because, for laser-like marketing, you don't want to sell people your first book who've already bought it. And that was a mistake I made in the beginning. You want to sell them your second book when they bought the first book, for example. You need a product to sell, but actually Daniel Wagner's proved that you don't. So if you don't, find out what people want and then create the product. If you do have a product to sell, that's great. And if you don't think you have a product, let me tell you this, you do, because everyone has something up here that's unique and valuable to other people. And has anyone ever read The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss? Write that down. That's the best book I've ever read, in my opinion. The 4-Hour Work Week, Timothy Ferriss. He reckons that you can become an expert in 4 weeks, and you don't have to be Dan Kennedy to be an expert in marketing. You just have to have done a few things and know more than other people and be able to offer them value with that added knowledge. Because most people wait and get 58 degrees and all these awards on their wall before they start selling. Nah. Start selling, because you know more than someone else does. Get those awards, get those accolades, become better, monetize in the process. Fair comment? Yeah? It could take a lot of time and a lot of money to become an expert, so why not monetize while you're doing it? And of course, you don't have to have your own product, you can sell someone else's. Affiliate marketing is big at the moment. So, as you know, we're looking for wide and shallow or narrow and deep. Someone tell me. Narrow and deep. Well, I don't even have to explain why. Focus like a laser. Get people with long tail keywords specific and sell to them over and over again. So, I've got about, well, John says a couple of minutes left. If I could stretch that to 7, that'd be great. I'm sure he won't kill me. Is this interesting, by the way? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to quickly whip through these. These are tools and tricks which have made me and other people a lot of money, and some of them are so simple I can't believe everyone's doing it. When you start using Google AdWords, the best strategy is to scrape. So everybody in your industry that's doing what you do, that looks like they're good, copy their ads, test them, and see if they work. When I started, I was copying most gurus suck, what experts don't know, make them, you know, £50,000 plus tax-free doing nothing. I tested everything. Now, some of them work and some of them don't. Some of the reverse psychology stuff, like Rich Jerk, who uses why you suck and you're a loser, that works in some markets, doesn't work in mine, but I've tested it. So test everything, and the best way to do it is just look at everybody else in your industry, scrape it all, test it. Can what doesn't work, keep what does. And you can scrape everything. You can scrape headlines, ads, landing pages. Nick that David D'Angelo one. Copy it right now. Because your copy will be different unless you're selling dating stuff. Andrew? Use Google. If you type in someone who's a competitor in your market, all of a sudden you'll find 10 more competitors in your market. Pick one of those and type it in and you'll find 10 more. And before you know it, you'll find all the keywords you need. You don't even have to use Word Tracker or all these fancy tools. However, there is a good tool in Google, the keyword tool, where you can put a keyword in and it will match other keywords. But just use Google. If you just sit there for an evening playing around with Google, you will find hundreds of people, names, companies, keywords to bid on. So simple, most people don't do it. Most people think, oh, I want to be better than everyone else, I'm not going to copy, I'm going to reinvent it all. But chances are there's someone who's spent 2 years, like me, testing all these ads. So someone should just come and nick my ad if they're in my business because it's been tested for 2 years. And I just told them to do it. So the keyword tool is really important. Just if anyone know anyone, got a family member or a business, take a load of keywords, sit down and tell them to brainstorm a load of other keywords, and all of a sudden you've got 500 keywords. Really quite simple. Use a thesaurus. You can get, it's so, you know, when you start, you're there and you're like property investment in UK, and then you sit there and you go, ah. But I probably bid on thousands of keywords now, just from, you know, these simple scraping, dorming, thesaurus, Google strategies. Right, obviously there are fundamental rules of marketing. Unfortunately, I can't go into them now, but you might just want to write that down. Your copy is important. It should be influential. It should move people's minds. It should be emotional. It should move people. It should make them want to pull out their credit card and run from Peterborough to London to give it to you. That's what it should do. You have to have such a clear and concise action because there's a lot of other people trying to sell stuff that you're trying to sell. And of course it needs to be compelling. Your quality score. The more relevant your ad is with the keyword in the headline, the keyword in the body copy, the keyword in the image tag, the more relevant to the keyword that you're bidding on, the better quality score, therefore the higher it will come up. Your pages be relevant. I'll go into detail about that later on. So, quick summary. This is what you don't want to do, and you might want to write that down. Incidentally, I'll give you a copy of these slides. So I know you're all starting to write fast now because I'm starting to go fast, but I do have an offer for you that John said I could introduce. In fact, he made me, because in his opinion, and in my opinion, the results are quite good. I can see people writing, I'm going to flick on, and I'm sorry. You can write without looking at your page. That's pretty good.
The slides available afterwards.
Yeah, I'll email them to you. I'll email you guys the slides, whoever wants it. So.
Put it up on the website.
And John will put it up on the website. So, the benefits of Google AdWords, well, I don't even need to summarise them because I think I've summarised them throughout what I've said, and I'm just a normal guy who has a business that wasn't internet related. Now, of course, it's one of my major strategies. Just like David, just like Vanish, just like Just One. It's because we're all in property. A lot of us are fishing in the same pond, but we're all got reasonably successful businesses because there's more than Do you know what someone said to me? Oh, when I buy property in Peterborough. Now, I have 35 properties in Peterborough, and people go, oh my goodness, you'll probably have all of Peterborough soon, you'll have to buy somewhere else. I've got 35 properties in a town of about 200,000 people. There's still lots more properties for me to buy, and when I have 200 and 300 and 500 and 1,000, I'll still be able to buy in Peterborough. Now, that's the same with Google AdWords, because wherever you're competing will be the same thing. It doesn't matter who's fishing in that same pond, there'll still be plenty of fish. If your message is good, your rod's strong, you've got a thick line and decent bait, and a strong arm to reel them in, you'll always make money. Okay, so for anybody who would like to be taught how to do this in a day, I am running a one-day workshop. Let me tell you something. Day workshop. It's the only one I'm going to do. Now, I said at the last presentation it was the only one I was going to do, and then Jason and John managed to get me here. I have 3 spaces on the 24th of May and 4 spaces on the 7th of June for this workshop. So let me just, if that's okay, just for 5 minutes, just tell you what that entails. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah? Okay. So based on what I've shown you, I will teach you how to build a database of 10,000 people in less than 1 year. Our list is currently 11 and odd, but we actually have multiple lists, so it is more, but you know, that's one list. That's done in 329 days. Now, everyone on that list is worth £52.31, so that's a huge asset in itself. How to wipe the floor with your competitors spending 1/4 of the money. This is my favourite part of it. How to outthink them, because using the 80-20 principle, that things that they aren't doing, you can quite easily have more relevant ads, more targeted keywords, and use drop bidding strategies that most people don't know to spend 5, 10, 20, 30 pence a click when other people are spending £2 and you're coming up 2 places above them. You can make money in half an hour. You need an ad, a keyword, a destination URL, and a back-end system that I'll give you in a box. And then once you know the system, the blueprint, you just duplicate it over 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500 products. Because the concepts and rules are the same. And I know you know that. So all the back-end stuff, all of the database management, all of the contact management, I have that in a box back in my office that my internet marketing coach gave me. So if you're a bit worried about all the back-end stuff and you just want to get started and you want it working for you, you'll have all that in a box. Teach you how to cheat the Google spiders. There's strategies such as drop bidding and things like that that can basically fool the Google spiders into you bidding 5, 10, 20 pence a click, paying 5, 10, 20 pence a click, and coming at the top of Google and beating people who are paying 2, 3, 4, 5 quid. Really interesting strategy. Works like a treat. It might only work for 6 months, but of course you might generate £500,000 in that time because things change. And, you know, obviously you replicate this. You can use 1.36 hours per day and you can generate the sales and leads that you believe you can generate, because I can't tell you how much money you're going to make. I can't do it for you. I can show you, but you can go and do it. But what you make is down to you. But, of course, you know, I've given you evidence of what we've managed to do, having no experience in it 18 months ago. So I've calculated that my time is worth £517 an hour. I know that because all the money that I personally generate for Progressive Property divided by the time that I put in, that's £517 an hour. Again, I told you what I'm like with my figures. So to have my time for a day, in my opinion, is 517 times whatever that day may be. Just like, I mean, I pay Perry Marshall and Brian Todd more than that. I'll give you follow-up web sessions, because I think it's really important that you come and you learn something on a day and you learn how to use it. But of course we go out in the real world and you all know what happens. Life takes over, doesn't it? And sometimes you need a bit of a gentle nudge or a bit of a boot. Sometimes you just need to know that someone is there to help you. So you'll have your own personal web sessions. I use GoToMyMeeting, where I can log into your AdWords account with your permission, and you can see it on your screen and I can see it on mine, and we can tweak your accounts and use the 80-20 principle and make sure that they generate you money. You'll have a manual so everything that you will have learnt will be manualised so that you can learn it and read it forever and ever. Some of the best books that I've got I read 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and I always learn something new. And you only need to learn one thing on a course that costs 50 grand, and that can be worth every penny. I'll also give you some follow-up teleseminar to my meeting. To log into your AdWords account, you can speak to me personally, and you know, we'll run over your strategy and look at making it more efficient, more monetize more money. And again, I've got some secret bonus material. A lot of it is to do with some of the stuff that Daniel Wagner gave me on some of what the internet marketers, the best internet marketers in the world are doing. Some of the stuff that Perry Marshall's taught me personally. The drop bidding, bless you, that you know, that essentially almost cheats the Google system. That'll all be thrown in. And then the back end in a box, which for me was worth all the money, because my internet marketing coach, Lyndon Wright from Stompernet, he gave me this back end in the box. He gave me IntelliContact, which I use, and he helped me using Dreamweaver, and he also helped me with WordPress, which is a blog site, and all these things that made it much easier for me to go and just do what I wanted to do, which was make money. So that's a total value, in my opinion, based on the value that I would place on it with the results I know that I've got, of 8,000 quid. There's a full money back guarantee. So if you decide that after a year you have done everything you can and you have not generated twice the money that it cost you in terms of sales, I'll give you your money back. That simple, because I know that if you just go and do what I've said without even coming and seeing me for a day, you'll make money because I've given you enough tips. But if you come with me and you don't believe you've got value, having done everything, and you just can't make it work, I'll give you your money back. So, the figures. I'm not going to do any drop close or anything like that. It's a simple price. It's 1,197 quid. John, what are you doing about the VAT?
Sorry?
The VAT. Because obviously...
Included in the 1197.
Oh, thanks. All right then. Apparently the VAT's included in the 1197. Okay, so that's inclusive of VAT, so you might want to run that through your business perhaps. If you're interested, some forms are being passed round. If you wanted to have a chat with me, then by all means have a chat with me. If you want the slides, come and give me your card. I'll send it to you on email. I hope that you've got some value out of what I've said. Thanks for putting up with me for 10 minutes longer than I was allowed. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you very much indeed, Rob. Does anybody have any questions for Rob very quickly?
And the more products you have, and we've had a lot of problems with add-ons, so we use WordPress. It's a simple blog. It's like Word, so that any time you do your copy, you just write on it and it's there. You don't need to learn code, which is why it's all made simple.
All my websites I've built in Dreamweaver.
You can still use Dreamweaver. You can actually take the code from WordPress so you can move the stuff across. Because currently today, we have an account in Dreamweaver that we use for our business, and we're moving it over to WordPress. And it's very simple, because you can either do WordPress straight like you're doing a Word document, just typing it, or you can take the source code and move it into Dreamweaver and vice versa.
It's the database bit that I lack.
The database bit, you'll have iContact or one shopping cart that you'll just be able to use just like that. It takes 10 minutes to set up an account.
That's the bit.
Yeah. So I hope that that you know, clears that one up.
Any other questions for Rob? If not, if you'd...
Simon.
Rob, I noticed you'd very cleverly put an advert on my book on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if Google AdWords could get onto Amazon, or if you do a campaign separately with Amazon.
No, I actually hadn't done that. It's just that Amazon now have what eBay have and others have, where they have AdSense. So that ad is actually on Google, but it's appearing on Amazon through AdSense.
It's a content network.
Yeah, exactly. It's content. So you've got like your normal AdWords, which is, you know, the strategy, but then you use content, which generally is not actually, I don't think that's as good a deliverer in terms of return on investment. But that's just through, it just links through Google.
You can select, can't you?
Yeah, you can, but
Like Amazon,
what I'm finding is that, even though, because I don't do any content network, that's still coming up, as you said, in Amazon. I mean, I didn't even know that was happening, but that's why.
You can select the websites on which you want your adverts to appear.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole new ballgame using content network, but for me, it's burnt more money than it's been worth because it's less targeted. But, you know, it's not that you can't make it work, but, I mean, a good friend of mine in the property business who's also making a lot of money, he's gone to content now for a lot of things, but he's spending 50 times as much as we are on AdWords, and, you know, his ROIs go right down, but he's got the money to pump into it. So, you know, it's more of a mass media strategy, really. Hello.
Hello. Do you use Google AdWords to find depressed sellers, or is it just selling
Do I use Google AdWords to find
depressed sellers?
motivated, depressed sellers? Actually, yes. Does it work? Andrew would know more than me about that. So if you want to chat with Andrew, because he built a whole business around that. Yes, it does work. It's a lot more expensive than other advertising mediums that we've found, because we leverage estate agents and we get deals for nothing. Estate agent relationships for 4 years. It's highly competitive. What did you say, Andrew? Like you were paying per decent lead?
Well, if you look at the stats that are available, you know, if you buy a lead online, you can buy leads from between 50 and 200 quid. Yeah. Now I know people that can generate leads for as little as 4 quid, but the challenge with AdWords is always to generate the volume, because you can have massively long-tailed keywords, but the key, you know, if you put in sell bungalow quickly in Hertfordshire, you might get one search a year.
Mm.
So that person, you can buy that click for 2p, yeah? But you can't buy them every day. So there's always a trade-off between the volume of inquiries, and that's not a property thing, that's an everything thing.
Yeah. I think the thing with the answer to your question is yes, you absolutely can use that strategy. When we're sourcing probably one lead a day that's probably every 2 leads we get a deal through estate agents, and that costs us no money. So we focus on that. We've probably got 4 or 5 deals through using our No More Debt Now site, which is the sort of the motivated sellers. You can do it, but I don't like 3, 4, 5, 10 quid a click, because I don't have a lead generation system built in like Andrew did.
Can I just ask, you just mentioned briefly the packages you use. So you use WordPress to write the blog. And did you install WordPress on your own site, or did you just go to WordPress and set up an account, and then the code for the eye contact and the code for one shopping cart, you just cut and paste the blog, do you?
Yeah, it's very easy. It's much easier than using Dreamweaver, which I've come accustomed to. But there are widgets in the WordPress which allow you to RSS feeds on or not, capture pages or not, where you put your tracking, all that kind of thing. It's hosted. Sorry, Andrew, carry on.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you may be just about to answer that question.
Okay.
Is your site like kind of MySpace thing, so it's wordpress.com/?
No.
Or is it?
Yeah, you'd use our server basically.
Main hosting.
Yeah.
If you go load up to main hosters, we'll have a one-click.
Right.
So,
Once
your
it's
web hosting,
I think live mail, I believe we use.
there's quite a few. If you look at most hosting people, they'll have it built in. Fantastico is a package that most hosting companies and that automatically is.
You can use fast hosts as well for that, those kind of things. It's the sort of stuff which I wanted someone else to do for me, because I didn't really enjoy that side of it, so that's why we've put it in a box. The reason we use WordPress is because my internet marketing coach is convinced that all the other sites he uses, the WordPress blogs are getting to the top in terms of SEO much quicker than any other platform of site, for a multitude of reasons I probably don't understand as well as him. But they just seem to be highly more optimized to get to the top in certain keywords or higher quicker than some of our blog posts have got to the top of keywords in 2 or 3 weeks, when it took the Dreamweaver site 6 months. So it's just a much more highly optimized and user-friendly as well way of using it, because it's like using a Word document rather than having to write code.
Right, Rob, thanks again.
Thanks, John. I'll go and sit down and get some more water.
Right, we'll get you some more.
Thank you. Do you want the mic? Do you want the mic?